So as a college professor, as a previous college professor, what is your take on the college scandal, the college admissions scandal?
Well, I thought it was just shameful. You know, we've known all along about legacy admissions and big donors get their children in, but this is very specific. This is real cheating, real lying. It's widespread. It's a lot of money that's being paid to let students in. And I remember when I taught here at UNLV, I had students in my classes who were like first-generation students. Their parents worked very hard for them to have an opportunity, and they often worked 2 jobs themselves just to go to school. So I think it's unfair, and colleges need to take a hard look at themselves when this has come about.
Some of parents that have no problem paying for their kids' education say, well, this is a return on investment. This is, if I donate this money to a certain school, then I want my child to get in. That's just an expectation. What is your take on that?
Well, I mean, I understand that you support causes and you want something in return, but this scandal is more than that. It is actually paying people to help their children cheat on SAT tests. It's fudging athletic backgrounds to say they were members of a team that they weren't members of, so they can get into college kind of through the back doorway as they playing water polo or something like that. So it's not just getting a return on your investment. I think it's cheating and stealing. And when I was a professor, I didn't tolerate any kind of cheating, and I don't think our university should either.
What is Congress doing? And what are you specifically doing in order to prevent this from happening again?
Well, we've been talking about it. I think information is important. People should know that this is going on. There's a lawsuit that's been filed by the Attorney General of Massachusetts that brings about 50 people into this. That will proceed through the courts. And some of my colleagues who are on the Education Committee have talked about possible legislation. I don't know what form that will take. They may start with some hearings, or they may look at how people use these donations for tax credits. And certainly you shouldn't be getting a tax credit for something that's illegal to start with.
What is your take as a previous college professor and now as a Congresswoman with the culture of college?
Well, for a while it was the notion you needed a high school degree to get ahead, and then it became a college degree. And I encourage anybody who wants to go to college to do that. But you know, sometimes people have other skills or other talents, and they may want to go to, say, a music school, or they may want to do an apprenticeship with the skilled labor union. I think all those things are great as long as we provide incentives for people to follow their dreams and opportunities for them once they come out of whatever program they choose, so they can find a good job that will pay well and have good benefits so they can do better than their parents and pass it on to their children.
And with Nevada, we have a fairly low income tuition rate, and it doesn't really go in comparison to Virginia and California.
Right.
Do you think that will bring people in, or do you think that will help people who are interested in pursuing a higher education to do so?
Well, I think it does, and I think that's important. And it's not only at the level of UNLV. Remember, we have Nevada State, and we have the community college, CSN, and so that provides different levels of opportunities for students. And I think keeping those state rates low is important. Because we don't have many choices here. In Virginia, I went to school at William and Mary, and there are many private schools and many old established schools, and we're new here in Nevada, and our universities are new, so we want to be sure that they provide equal opportunity.
With people who are kind of misusing the Disabilities Act, obviously if you have a physical disability, people can see that, but if you have a learning disability, it's harder to say, oh, that person has a learning disability or not. How can we, I guess, catch people who are misusing that act?
Well, you're always going to find people who want to take advantage of something. Look at the whole notion of support animals. Now people are wanting to take on the plane snakes and peacocks and calling them a support animal. So you have to have clear rules in place, but you have to strike a balance, and you have to be sure that those rules do take care of people with real disabilities, but weed out those who try to take advantage of the system. When it comes to learning disabilities, throughout the grade school and high school, There are a number of tests that can be offered to show who might be dyslexic or who might have hearing disability. Or you can measure those kind of things, and it's up to the regents and the university to put things in place, and they need to be clear so people know what the rules are and they apply evenly across the board. So you keep that level playing field and you don't treat one person with an advantage over another.
And also from your experience living in Virginia and going to school in Virginia, do you feel like that, I guess the education system in that state can kind of carry on to, since we have more of a newer higher education system, things that we can kind of take advantage of in the state of Nevada that maybe Virginia and other states are doing?
Well, I think that being young is an advantage. Being old has other advantages, more traditions, more established. But you know, it's been kind of a buyer's market here in Nevada. We've been able to take advantage of new technologies. We have Western subjects that we study here in collaboration with DRI, things related to the desert, the environment. I think those are climate change. Those are very important. And also we have a living lab along the Strip that is about the best opportunity for anybody to go into the hospitality industry. So I think the key is to find what we do best and focus on that and not try to be the Harvard of the West. Mm-hmm. Just recently, U.S. News and World Report came out with some rankings. Our law school had bumped up. That's something to be very proud of, and some of the other departments as well. So I'm proud of the time I spent at UNLV, and I think I'd hold up our students to anybody, anywhere.
And do you have anything else you want to talk about with in addition to the college scandal or with just Nevada's higher education that you would want to
Well, can I mention about the internships for students? Well, I taught in the political science department for 35 years, and we established an internship program at the state legislature where students can go up there during the session and work for state legislators. But also, all the congressional offices have internship opportunities. So no matter what your major is, you know, even if it's health, certainly there's a lot of politics in the world of health, or even music, whatever it might be, there's an opportunity for you to work either in a local office or in a Washington congressional office, and a real opportunity to meet other people, see how politics works, looks good on the resume. So I would encourage students to check into those possibilities, because you can get at least elective credit, if not regular credit, depending on your major.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.